Good Erev Yom Tov. In full disclosure, you are allowed to say Yizkor without a minyan. In the interest of being as forthright with you as possible, I don't want to keep any cards close to the vest. The truth is, it's entirely possible to say Yizkor on your own. Since the pandemic precautions are compelling most of us to stay home all the time and compelling us to keep our beloved shul closed for the last days of Pesach, that's just what we'll have to do, you and I. We'll have to recite Yizkor for our loved ones at home without a minyan, just us and God. Now let's look at it the other way. Why do we say Yizkor with a minyan? At 4 special junctures during the year: last day of Pesach, coming up, day after tomorrow, last day of Shavuos, Yom Kippur, and Shmini Atzeres. Yizkor comes in connection with the Torah reading for those days. So there's a logical sequence to reading the portion and reciting the Yizkor prayer and making a pledge to tzedakah on behalf of our loved ones who have left this world. On 3 of those 4 days, not Yom Kippur, which has its own Torah reading, but on the other 3 days, we read from Chumash Devarim, from the middle of the book of Deuteronomy, Parshas Re'eh, which reviews the cycle of the holidays. And it's all about the last verse. It says there that on the holidays, everyone should appear before God, and it says not to come empty-handed, each according to what they can give, according to the blessing that God gives you. The Torah says, Ish kematnas yado kevirchas Hashem elokecha asher natan lach. Each according to what they can give, according to the blessings that God gives you. We pledge to giving tzedakah on behalf of those who have left us. Then we say Kamal Rachamim, and we move on with the morning service to Musaf. That's it. Now, why then, do you ask, does the shul usually fill up right before Yizkor? Why in some shuls do they set up folding chairs that are going to remain empty for most of the day? But for those 20 minutes for Yizkor, they're going to fill up with people looking in the siddur and crying. Here's what might be going on. We're giving tzedakah on behalf of those loved ones who passed away. Why? There's a sifri, a midrash, on another verse in Dvarim. Kaper la'amcha Yisrael, asher padisa Hashem. Grant forgiveness to your nation, grant forgiveness, God, to your nation Israel, whom you have redeemed. The sifri says, la'amcha Yisrael, to your people Israel, those are the living. Asher padisa, those whom you have redeemed, those are the dead. From this we learn that all of us, in this world and the next, benefit from kapara, from tzedakah. There's a level of our souls where everyone understands this, and perhaps that's why the shuls fill up when it's time for Yizkor. Because every Jew knows, whether they can explain it or not, whether they're conscious of it or not, that there's a God. You might be angry at him, you might not have spoken to him in some time, you might have some major questions about the way he runs his world. Fair enough. You're allowed to ask questions, you're allowed to wonder about those things. We're supposed to. But all those feelings testify to our deep knowledge and recognition that God is listening and cares about what we do. Another thing we know is that the neshama, the soul of a person, is eternal. The neshamas of those who loved us and took care of us and nurtured us and helped us make our place in the world, even after the bodies are gone, the neshamas remain eternal. And the third thing we know, and maybe it's more obvious now in these troubled and strange and tense times, is that this world is not all there is. It's not simply a game of who can finish life with the most toys. There's more to our lives than what we see in front of us. These are times of great economic upheaval and uncertainty. It may well have effects for generations. We know, we've always known, that it's not what you have in life, it's what you give. Many people give of their time. Many people give of their listening ear or their shoulder for someone else to cry on. What we're going to give after Yom Tov, we're going to pledge on Yom Tov and give after Yom Tov to tzedakah on behalf of our loved ones. We're going to pledge some money. It doesn't have to be a big amount, but as the verse says, it should be according to the blessings God gives you. We're going to pledge on Yom Tov because you can do that, and we're going to go on the shul website on Friday or even Thursday night after Yom Tov and pay the pledge because you should do that. What we're saying is that in these uncertain times, we are certain what the right thing to do is. We remember our loved ones who have died. We say the Yizkor prayer. We give tzedakah on their behalf, which is good for us and good for them. We know that there's more to life than we can see. And as the theme of the last days of Pesach is the future redemption, we look forward to passing safely through all the seas that look so dangerous until they split before our eyes. And we look forward to being together in 6 weeks at Mount Sinai on Shavuos as one person with one heart. All these reasons are among those why we would so much want to be together on Yom Tov, be part of the minyan, be a physically close part of the Kehillah. Now we know why most people make such an effort to be in Shul for Yizkor. It speaks to some of the deepest, truest parts of our Jewish selves. The thing is, that Jewish self is so deep and real and true wherever we are, whatever we do. So on Thursday morning, we'll be saying Yizkor at home, but we'll be thinking of being together as a Kehillah. May we see one another soon and in good health. For those who don't happen to have the Siddur at home, let's read the verses we read in preparation for Yizkor, and then we'll say the prayer, and we'll put it up on the website so you can print it off for yourselves to say on Thursday. Wishing everyone a good Yom Tov, a happy and healthy holiday, and looking forward to being back in Shul, all of us together. Page 810, 811 in the Siddur, in the Art Scroll Siddur, is where we have the prefatory verses for Yizkor, or it's on page 4 if you happen to have the booklet that we give out on Yom Kippur. We usually say a few verses in Psalm 92. God, what is man that you recognize him? The son of a frail human that you reckon with him. Man is like a breath. His days are like a passing shadow. In the morning it blossoms and is rejuvenated. By evening it is cut down and brittle. According to the count of our days, so may you teach us. Then we will acquire a heart of wisdom. Safeguard the perfect and watch the upright, for the destiny of that man is peace. But God will redeem my soul from the grip of the lower world, for he will take me, Selah. My flesh and my heart yearn. Rock of my heart, my portion is God forever. Thus the dust returns to the ground as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. Psalm 91. Whoever sits in the refuge of the Most High, he shall dwell in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of God, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, I will trust in him. That he will deliver you from the ensnaring trap, from devastating pestilence. With his pinion he will cover you. Beneath his wings you will be protected. Shield and armor is his truth. You shall not be afraid in the terror of night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in gloom, nor the destroyer who lays waste at noon. Let 1,000 encamp at your side, and myriad at your right hand, but to you they shall not approach. You will merely peer with your eyes, and you will see the retribution of the wicked. Because you said, you, God, are my refuge, you have made the Most High your dwelling place. No evil will befall you, nor will any plague come near your tent. He will charge his angels for you to protect you in all your ways. On your palms they will carry you, lest you strike your foot against a stone. Upon the lion and the viper you will tread, you will trample the young lion and serpent. For he has yearned for me, and I will deliver him. I will elevate him because he knows my name. He will call upon me, and I will answer him. I am with him in distress. I will release him. I will honor him. I will satisfy him with long life and show him my salvation. I will satisfy him with long life and show him my salvation. Now the Yizkor prayer. May God remember the soul of my teacher who has gone on to his or her world, because without making a vow, I shall give to charity on their behalf. As a reward for this, may their soul be bound in the bond of life, together with the souls of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah. together with the other righteous men and women in the Garden of Eden. And we say Amen. Gut Yom Tov, Chag Sameach. We look forward to seeing you soon.